I'd like first to read my statement. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the press. This is my first public appearance since President Rodrigo R. Duterte announced his executive decision naming yours truly as full-fledged Chief of the Philippine National Police, for which I can only be too grateful and honored for his expression of trust and confidence in my humble capacity to lead the country's police force as its highest official. As PNP officer in charge since October 14, 2019, I had been performing the function of Chief PNP, although in a limited capacity and authority. 3 months as officer in charge has made me more than ready to take on the responsibility bestowed upon myself by the Commander-in-Chief to lead the PNP. I'm not about to announce a grand program of action just yet. Let me reserve that for a more appropriate time. Essentially, all policies and plans of the PNP are in place since I assumed command as officer in charge and even before that. These policies and plans will remain to be the framework of my leadership, more so now that I am vested with more authority as Chief PNP to pursue the flagship program of internal cleansing and organizational discipline with greater vigor and efficacy. As a lawyer, I want every member of the PNP to be most respectful of the rule of law and everything that it stands for. There shall be no individual or unit action outside of the justice system under any circumstances. Everything shall be above board and compliant with the requirements of due process, human rights, transparency, and public accountability. Technically, I remain to be the officer in charge until I assume office and is formally inducted into office by President Rodrigo R. Duterte later today. And that crowning glory to be named Chief PNP cannot be more than meaningful when it is given in the field and while in the middle of a massive whole-of-nation undertaking led by the Chief Executive himself to mitigate the effects of an impending natural disaster threatening our fellow countrymen in the highly progressive part of southern Luzon. Since day one of Taal volcano's violent episode, the PNP, initially through the efforts of Police Regional Office Calabarzon, has been at the forefront of region-wide law enforcement and public safety operations under the direction of the National Disaster Risk and Reduction Management Council, primarily to conduct safe and organized evacuation of residents within the 14-kilometer danger zone identified by PhilVox. Despite 1,355 of our own personnel and their families in Calabarzon and Metro Manila being themselves victims of the Taal's fury, the PNP remain focused to our disaster response mission. As we speak, there are now 1,821 police search and rescue personnel deployed in affected areas, while 9,981 more are on standby and ready for rapid deployment. PNP disaster response operations now involve practically all Luzon-based police regional offices and SAR-capable national support units. There are 244 PNP personnel manning the fort in communities vacated by residents, while 332 more are patrolling evacuated areas that were declared off-limits to prevent looting and possible exposure to hazardous volcanic fumes, particles, and debris. A fleet of PNP land, sea, and air assets consisting of 68 trucks, 53 4x4 troop carriers, 12 buses, 5 aircrafts, and 26 watercraft are currently committed to this PNP disaster response mission. PNP search and rescue units assisted in the evacuation and rescue of 129,819 persons, 114,689 of whom are now safely housed in 446 evacuation centers that are secured by 2,841 PNP personnel. The PNP also figured prominently in the rescue of distressed farm and work animals, livestock, and domesticated pets that were abandoned in evacuated communities. In some areas, local government units have eased on security protocols to allow some residents to return to their homes to tend to abandoned livestock and pets and to retrieve some personal items. Our security forces were present to supervise controlled access into lockdown areas during designated window hours. As of latest report, 0 casualties have been reported in all the affected areas, while no incidents of looting or major crime were posted as of yesterday. We are grateful to the local governments and the people of Batangas, Cavite, Laguna, Quezon, and Rizal for the magnanimous expression of the Filipino spirit of bayanihan during these trying times. Calabarzon is special to me for helping shape the latter part of my career as senior officer when I briefly served as its regional chief of directorial staff and the deputy regional director for operations. On other matters, I am pleased to announce the busting over the weekend of yet another drug distribution network operating in southern Metro Manila and Cavite and believed to have links with international syndicates. Operatives of the PNP Drug Enforcement Group under the command of Police Colonel Romeo Karamat seized some 16.5 kilograms of high-grade shabu worth 112.2 million from 8 high-value targets during a string of 4 separate anti-drug operations in the cities of Pasay, Parañaque, Las Piñas, and Bacoor, Cavite. Among the arrested suspects was Nigerian Kinsley Osita Escobe, who yielded 4 packs of shabu weighing approximately 2 kilograms during a buy-bust operation in Bacoor City. He is believed to have links with the notorious West African drug syndicate that is known for its international drug trafficking activities across Asia, Africa, and Europe. The successful result of this major police operation supports the intent of the PNP leadership to redirect the focus of police anti-drug operations to high-value targets engaged in trafficking of commercial quantity of drugs 50 grams or more. More importantly, it describes the intensity of aggressive anti-drug operations that are forthcoming, backed by more technical equipment and highly trained operatives. Thank you.
And the first question will be coming. Hi, sir.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good
Sir,
morning.
anong mga priorities mo? At saka ano ang magiging pagbabago kung meron ba? May pagbabago ba sa ilalim ng iyong liderato?
As I have said now, there's not much to change since I assumed officer in charge last October 14. And even after the talk with the President and the Secretary of Interior and Local Government, still on top priority is our campaign against illegal drugs and cleansing the PNP. So these are the 2 primary programs which I started when I was still the Oversight Committee Chairman, when I was Deputy Chief for Operations, and then when I assumed as OIC, and now as Chief PNP, this will be my priority.
Sir, may binanggit ang Pangulo sa speech niya doon sa Maritime o sa interview sa Maritime na ang may mga pulis na may dero ay walang hindi dapat nasa organisasyon. Pinapa-account mo ba, sir, yung may mga pulis na may dero sa drugs o nakapwesto pa rin hanggang ngayon?
They are not actually accounted because we already know them. No? And yes, part of the instruction of the President is in cleansing the PNP, kasama yan, merong tingnan yung may mga, yung kasing derogatory records, these are based on different kinds of information. So primarily, there is an evaluation and adjudication that is being done by a certain committee in the PNP to evaluate whether tama yung information or not. No? And then from there, two things can happen. No? First, if it's not confirmed, then he is delisted and goes back to the police service as an ordinary person. No? Second, if he is proven to have that and to proven na tama yung derogatory records, then the PNP will pursue either administrative or criminal case to build up against that person. So yan yung gagawin natin doon sa mga listed. Ang tawag namin noon is counterintelligence watch list. No? So ito yung ginagather namin yung evidences against our own personnel.
Sir, kasama na dyan yung mga ninja cops?
Lahat, ninja cops and those policemen involved in all kinds of illegal activities. No? From very simple of mga sugarol, no, and mga nagpoprotekta up to the level na sila mismo participant, no, or even a member of identified syndicated crime groups.
Sir, magpapatupad ka ba ng revamp sa mga RDs at saka mga director ng NGO?
On January 20 na, ngayon, yeah, Today will be the finalization of the evaluation of the regional directors, national support unit directors, directorial staff included, so that tomorrow I will study the results of the evaluation. Ito namang evaluation na to, it did not just come from thin air. No? Alam na to ng lahat ng mga dapat na ma-evaluate since October. From October, naglabas kami noong November, then December, then just during our January 7 command conference, it was also publicly announced in the conference on the ratings of the different commanders on the field.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Joy Khan.
Sir, good morning po. Sir, you marveled in your post as chiefness. What's the directive of the President, sir? Congratulations.
Salamat. Ano ulit?
Ano po yung first directive sa inyo ni President po?
Hindi, yun naman. Sinabi ko na nga, primarily yung dalawa, no? To be vigorous on the campaign against illegal drugs and cleansing the PNP.
Sir, before po kasi sabi ni President, you want a PNP po who can end the drug problem in the country. Kakayanin po ba before this term?
Well, ang sabi naman niya sa akin, no, really it will take some time to eradicate. Now, I have up to September 2, no? September 2 is my retirement. But let us all anchor this on Executive Order number 66, no, which was signed by the President. And remember, the success or failure of any drug campaign is vested on that executive order, of which the efforts, hindi lang naman PNP. This is an all-government approach from prevention to punitive and then including rehabilitative.
Thank you, Ate Joy. J. Mark, then Patricia.
Sir, una congratulations po. And
Thank you.
Yung first question ko is, may sinabi si Pangulo last Friday na mag-uusap kayo together with the Secretary may una po, nangyari na po ba ito? And second, ano po yung ina-expect niyo pag-usapan niyo?
Nangyari ito no, immediately after the announcement, me and the President together with SILG during parang hapunan siya in a restaurant in Davao City, and yun, it lasted for I think more than an hour. Marami siyang directive, but generally if we compress it, it will delve to the two issues na sinabi ko na. Vigorous anti-drug campaign and then cleansing the PNP.
Second, sir, pagamat maganda na yung performance ng pagdating sa crime rate, mababa na yung crime rate. Pero ang medyo nakakabahala, yung involving naman yung mga Chinese citizens na nandito sa atin sa Pilipinas. Bilang Chief PNP po, ano na po yung magiging directive ninyo para mapababa yung mga kaso na ito na involving yung kidnapping sa mga Chinese?
Yes, we need the cooperation of the Chinese people, no, through their embassy. Tagal ko na sinasabi that there will be constant coordination And just like any other countries, no, we will be establishing probably a Chinese desk, no, and cross-training on language, on the culture, no, so that mas maintindihan natin why they're doing this and how they're going to do it. So meron naman silang police attaché in the Philippines, then we will coordinate with them. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of invitations, or there are a lot already of specialized schooling and visits that has been initiated by the Chinese government of sending members of the PNP to China so that we would understand more their culture and how their syndicates do their thing in China, and probably the same that they do here in the Philippines.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, J. Mark. Patricia.
Hi, Sir Pati. Sir, what happens now to the procurement function of PNP? Binalik na po ba?
The procurement function still remains to be with the PNP, but even the President told me that it will be under the strict supervision of the Secretary of the Interior and Local Government. And even the Secretary assured the President that he will review all of our actions so that he can also ensure to himself that these are corruption and graft-free transactions.
Sir, follow up lang. So, ano sir yung update doon naman sa sabi niya, overpriced guns?
Sinabi naman namin, it was a wrong presentation. Wrong terms used, and then wrong pictures used. So, yun, what do you expect? Ganun lang nangyari. But, honestly, hindi na namin napag-usapan yun ni Presidente during the long talk.
But sir, sorry, you already submitted that written.
Yeah, there was already an explanation provided for, and appreciative naman si Presidente dun sa explanation. Okay?
Rambo, sir.
Hello, sir. Follow-up lang, sir, sa tinanong kanina. Ano yung nabanggit ko, sir, na magkakaroon ng Chinese desk? Gaano karami yun, sir, kailan?
Yeah, these are on, ano kasi yan, no? It's just an intention, but there should be a technical working group created with both governments to really study muna how does it happen, no? When does it happen? What are the frequencies? What are the possible motives? How do they do it? So with that, if there's a need to establish a Chinese desk, then we do that. It's happening all over the country, like the government of Japan, the government of Korea has already been doing this since time before. So ito naman, we admit that there's a rising threat to that, hence the need to really put up these desks.
Sir, may discussion na kung ano yung ascension plan ng PNP once you go up to the chief PNP position kasi wala ka na ng vacancies. Not really the evaluation, but something.
Yeah, because definitely I'm the Deputy Chief for Administration, no? And in a few hours, I'll be Chief PNP, and then automatic aakyat si General Cascolan as the Deputy Chief for Administration. General Gilor would be designated as the Deputy Chief for Operations. Who is the TCDS? Guess who? Well, it will require a lot of evaluation because siyempre ang effect niyan is the TCDS is my implementer of policies in Camp Crame, no? So it requires a lot of energy, no, to be designated as TCDS. And then yung effect niyan, siyempre yung mabakante, pupuno na gano'n. No comment.
Sir, your appointment finally for PNP chief. You, for the past 3 months, you've been saying na hindi naman siya ganun ka-big deal kasi you've been able to function as a PNP organization.
Of course, it's a big deal, no, because we respect the decision of the President. No? And big deal siya dahil it's the Commander-in-Chief who decided who the Chief PNP would be. And ako, for myself, it's a big deal.
Effectively, sir, for your action, ano yung na-empower ka gawin ngayon as now a incoming four-star general?
Alam mo yung sinabi ni Presidente that you have proven your sincerity. It's actually an evaluation but requires a continuing action on my part. Meaning to say, I take it as a challenge that I saw in you your sincerity. Continue to do this. So parang hindi ko sinasabing tapos na yon, no? Na nag-gain ko na yung trust niya. There's more to come. And there's more for me to prove that indeed showing sincerity to the President, but more importantly, to the government and to the entire Filipino people.
Thank you, Ramo. One question each, Buragi, then Ann, and Manny.
Sir, balikan ko lang yung tungkol sa PNP, clarify ko lang talaga. Pag na-positive ka daw sa drug test, wala nang chance, pick out ka na.
Okay, ganito kaya. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Sige,
Doon ka kasi pumunta.
sige lang daw, sir.
Okay. The drug dependence of a public servant, not only of the PNP, no, public service, is a continuing requirement in government. It's a continuing requirement. So at any time that you breach it, you have no right, not even a single moment after, to stay in government. Why? Because government service is imbued with public trust. So how can we trust somebody who uses drugs? Now, as to the procedure, meron namang due process, no? Kasi merong initial test and then merong confirmatory test. Now, pag merong confirmatory test, it's automatic, no? Automatic matanggal ka na. Automatic tanggal ka talaga. And you have a perpetual disqualification to serve in government. That's on the perspective of administrative. But under the provisions of the law on the criminal aspect, di ba, alam naman natin, pag proven ka na positive ka sa drugs, you go to the rehabilitative portion. So, ang punta mo, hindi kulungan, you go to the rehabilitation. Because the stringent requirement of a Filipino citizen is hindi naman na absolute ka dapat hindi ka gumamit ever since. So they are given a chance to go back to society, but not in government service.
Ann?
Sir,
Yes.
Sir, tanong ko lang. Sir, na itinilaga na kayo ni Pangulong Duterte as bagong PNP chief. Ibig sabihin ba nito, sir, hindi na siya nagtatampo ngayon sa PNP?
No comment.
Sir, kamusta naman ngayon, sir, yung moral ng PNP? Of course, 3 months po tayo walang PNP. Tapos ngayon, here comes kayo po ang itinilaga.
I think, kasi pag sabihin kong high moral na sila, ibig sabihin, nung OIC ako, hindi sila high moral. No, of course not. It did not really change naman the moral, no? Because sabi ko nga, we have our own sentiments, but, you know, it's public service is imbued with so much commitment that every one of us should have. So, hindi pwedeng, LOIC ka lang, magtampo ka, hindi ka na magtrabaho. We cannot do that, no? Because there is so much at stake, which is the interest of the public, no? Para ano ka pa naging public servant kung meron kang ganyan. Dapat nga pag nasa government service ka, halos wala kang emotion di ba? Kasi you should not be on your skin. As a matter of fact, take ka lang ng take, trabaho ka lang ng trabaho. And ito naman sa PNP, sabi ko nga, meron sigurong individual sentiments. But as an organization, as an institution, we cannot afford to do that. No? Kasi meron tayong mas malaking requirement, which is public trust. And yun, yung binibigay sa atin ng katauhan ng Republika ng Pilipinas.
So, yung mga individual sentiments, sir, how would you deal this, sir, sa mga kapong ng PNP?
Of course, first, as an individual, it should not ripen to anything else. Just keep it to yourself and then for your own consumption. No? Ang sinasabi ko nga, the members of the armed forces, the members of the Philippine National Police, have a very limited right under the Constitution on right to self-organize. Meaning to say, kami mismo na ang fraternity within the PNP. You cannot create a subculture, a subunit, or a sub-fraternity within the organization. Kasi nga, may mga armas lang yan, no? Now, kung payagan mo yan sila mag-organize ng kanya-kanyang grupo, baka bawat araw meron tayong bagong chief PNP o meron tayong bagong chief of staff. That's why the Constitution is very stringent on that you don't have the right to self-organize under its strictest sense.
Thank you, sir. Manny, then Rhea, and last, Alfred. Ay, Glenn.
Hindi na ako makadoning, pigilan niyo pa ako.
Sir, just one quick question.
Nag-iisa na lang.
Nag-iisa na lang. Manny, sir.
Manny.
What would be your style of leadership? How are you going to deal with your
Okay, I'm embarking on, of course, pag nag-greet kayo sa akin, it's always Team PNP. No? So, this is addressed to the entire Philippine National Police Organization. I am just your leader, but every single individual in the PNP counts. That's why I call it Team PNP, because this is a participative leadership. I cannot do this alone. We have to do this as an organization, as Team PNP.
Okay. Rhea.
Sir, natagdagan po ba, sir, yung mga PNP personnel na affected ng ARCHIE?
Yeah, no, kasi kayo nagtanong kayo na sabi ko magbigay ako ng pera. Nung sabi ko magbigay pera, dumami bigla. Hindi, kasi we canvass already. Meron kasing kunwari assigned dito sa national quarters whose families are there. So kinonsider namin almost 1,000 of them are affected already. Kaya ang ginagawa namin, no, yung tanong kanina, we ensure that all our personnel going there are protected. No? So meron silang N95 mask na hindi overpriced at goggles, gloves, and then flashlight. And second, meron tayong reserve force in other regions. Constant ang rotation kasi 3 to 4 days siyempre exhausted na sila. So palitan natin ng another batch para naman makapagpahinga, maka-refresh yung iba para bumalik ulit.
Ibigay niyo po yung 10,000 each dun sa mga affected?
Tanungin ko pa yung aking controller.
Yung donation, sir, dun sa mga civilian na ibigay na po ba? Yung donations?
Kasi currently, I was expecting na parang ang ma-raise lang namin mga almost, I think, 2 or 2.5 million. No? But take the initiative of NCRPO. I think NCRPO raised more than 1 million.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, more than 1 million. Kasi parang instead of 10 pesos, parang 100 pesos. No, 1 day combat pay ata yung binigay nila. So, ito naman is, we have a specific office, no, the Directorate for Police Community Relations, who takes charge of this to plan. Kasi sabi ko, before we buy anything else, let us assess on the ground what are the needs. Kasi baka naman bili tayo ng bili, tapos hindi na pala nila kailangan. So, dapat, kung ano yung pangangailangan, constant assessment, and then sabi ko, saka tayo magbigay. And, dapat, huwag tayong sumabay doon sa bugso ng donation. Kasi ngayon, siyempre, ang daming donation dyan, di ba? But, can we sustain it? So, yun yung parang sinabi ko doon sa mga gagawin namin donations.
Okay. Alfred.
So yung OIC kasi, you created regional IMEs. And then, during the past 3 months, yung DEG sir nakakuha ng more than 3 billion worth of share. And yun yung OIC card. Now, what can the Filipino people expect from you na ikaw na ang chief PNP?
Okay, una, sabi ko nga, there's no actual distinction between OIC, no, and Chief PNP in terms of required outputs for my commanders. Now, I did not tell them that they will create, pag sinabi kong create their own IMEGs, hindi naman siya formal organization. Ibig sabihin, gumawa kayo ng initiative dyan na ang functions parang IMEG. Kasi kung tatamaan ang unit nyo ng IMEG na galing sa IMEG, yun dito sa National Quarters, it's a count against you. Why? Because our regional officers should be empowered. Kayo mismo, you cleanse your rank. No? Don't wait for the national IMEG to go to your unit. And then, second, yes, there has been a very great improvement kasi nga, as we measure the operations conducted last December, it's averaging at 15 grams per operation. Suddenly, by January, it's now at 86 grams per operation. So, doon, OIC ako noon, no? So, of course, we expect this to rise. No? Kasi there's a different punishment when the confiscated grams are more than 50 grams. Okay, mag-o-taking na ako. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, in kayo po ay sige mga nabanggit si Milenio Robredo about the figures, numbers of so one of that sir, dadalhin niyo ba yun, sir? Siguro lang. Yung mga binanggit niya, especially sa figures, etc.
Okay, the VP case for me is closed. Let's move on forward. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very